It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in theaters, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is My name is Bryce, and I am part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hello, Jim.
Hey, hey!
Holy crap, you sound loud. Also, we have the Merman, who, along with Jim, to my knowledge, has never eaten bull penis, which some Eastern cultures ingest as a source of protein, as well as the belief that it promotes virility, health, and power. Any interest in trying something new, boys?
No.
You know me, I like to stick things in my mouth and other places.
I would join you, but I'm vegan, so. So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
Whoa. Thanks to all who've been supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, please support us and the growing Film Rage community by joining our membership at buymeacoffee.com/FilmRageYYC. All members get special episodes and content only for members, and all members that sign up will get a limited edition Film Rage merch item. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible movie. Shout out to our biggest listening province in Canada, which is still Alberta, and very closely by Nova Scotia. And thanks to our newest, and I'm saying, I don't think it's necessarily improved, but it's such a slow margin. New York over California still. But again, California's coming up the rear.
Hilarious, Jim.
It's coming up the rear.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, because it's in California.
I get it. Yeah.
It's West Coast versus East Coast.
Yeah.
Happy 100 episode, people!
Yeah, baby.
Yes, 100
Woo-woo.
episodes in. Movies are back at Canyon Meadows Cinemas. We are open for your viewing pleasure with great new films opening weekly. All health-regulated protocols are in effect for a safe and enjoyable experience. And don't forget, we should be your first choice for your next birthday party or special event. Can't make it to the cinema? We got you covered. Order concessions from our online store, and you can either choose curbside pickup or get them delivered via Skip the Dishes, Uber Eats, or DoorDash. For more details, go to canyonmeadowscinema.ca. Here at CMC, we would like to thank you for your continued support, and we are looking forward to seeing you at the movies.
At the movies, absolutely.
But
Boys,
before we do that,
what'd you see?
we saw a few things on the streaming. Did you keep a note or no?
Oh yeah, I streamed quite
You got
a
some
bit.
streaming stuff? Hit us.
So I guess we're sort of doing this rapid fire more.
Yeah, it's rapid fire because we don't want to spend that much time talking about streaming.
Alright, well, I saw The Comeback Kid,
Sweet.
starring Robert De Niro, Tommy Lee Jones, Morgan Freeman, Zach Braff, and Emil Hirsch. You got another Emil Hirsch movie.
I think I've seen
It's
that.
like 2 and 3
We
weeks.
can never get enough.
There you go.
Emil Hirsch.
Yeah, it was a movie.
Meh. It was a meh?
It was
or
a
was
meh.
it a rage?
It was
Okay.
funny.
It was a
There you
movie.
go.
I liked it.
Okay, well, I got one. I saw Cosmic Sin. Did you see it?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to tell people who's in it. They can go look that up themselves. Made for TV on a soundstage sci-fi invasion of the body snatchers / the Thing dumper with our man, Bruce Willis. What a surprise. It was a rage.
That is shocking, Jim.
Super shocking.
I also saw 4 Good Days.
Keep
No?
going. Nope.
Glenn Close, Mila Kunis, Stephen Root. Good cast.
It is a good cast.
Very, very good bit of drama.
So it's a Mondo.
It is a Mondo. Mila
Nice.
Kunis actually is as good as she's ever been, which may not be saying that much.
Not that great.
This is This movie was very, very good. It was a mondo. It's pretty powerful stuff. Glenn Close.
Well, it's
Glenn
motherfucking Glenn Close.
It's can't remember the dude's name. I should have written it down, but directed by the same guy that directed Glenn Close in Albert Nobbs. So
we might be talking about him again soon.
So yeah.
Mondo. All right. Well, I saw, and I'm gonna wrap them up with all three. So I saw Fear Street Part 1, Fear Street Part 2, and Fear Street Part 3.
I saw Fear Street Part 1.
And then you stopped?
And then I stopped, but I'm really upset
You're
that I'm
interested.
No, I'm not interested, but I've watched the first one, and now I have to watch the next two.
Oh, yes,
the first
you
one
do.
sucked. It was a rage.
Okay.
And I hope it gets better from there, because I'm in now.
Yep. You're in like sin. Well, the first one is not the best of the series.
Okay, well,
Number
that's
2 happens to be a reverse. It's not technically number 2, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's actually number 1.
Gotcha.
So number 2 is number 1, and number 1 is number 3,
Yeah.
and number 3 is number 2.
And that's the one where they're back in 1666.
1666. They're back in the year of Satan.
One
Satan.
That's 666.
How did they come up with that?
That's genius.
It's super genius. So part 1, I didn't hate it as much as you. I gave it a Matt. It got a bit of a throwback to Mike Myers meets Goosebumps meets 13 Ghosts. Part 2 was, for me, was a mondo. Jason Voorhees meets The Craft meets Goosebumps. And number 3 was meh. It had an awesome soundtrack, but the film was meh.
All right.
So now you're going to have to tell us what you did for 2 and 3 next week.
Yeah, we'll see if I can squeeze them in.
All right. Well, cram in what you got next. You probably watched 20 movies this week.
I got 1, 2, 3. I got 4 more, Jim.
Okay, just blast them out.
Here today, starring Billy Crystal and Tiffany Haddish. And Tiffany Haddish is on her way to being undoubted. I know you've got her last one as a meh.
It's true.
I've got her last one as a mondo, and I've got this one as a mondo.
What?
I loved it.
So where is it? Where can I
Loved
see it?
it.
I have to now see
It's
it.
VOD.
Okay, well, I'll rent it.
Then we got Finn.
Oh, okay.
Eli Roth documentary about the sharks and the shark fin soup and the whole deal. And we kind of got a better version of it with The Cove. I don't know if you remember seeing
Yes,
The Cove.
I do. Yeah.
The Cove was very, very good.
I think it was in both of our top 10 lists for documentaries, if I remember correctly.
It might have been, yeah. This one is not as good as The Cove, but still very, very good. It's still mondo.
Nice.
So yeah, no, Eli Roth is I don't know.
A little annoying, but
Well, yeah, he's
Eli Roth.
He's a bit of a dork, so and he knows it. It's not like I'm telling him anything he doesn't
not
know.
a surprise, Eli.
The Loneliest Whale, The Search for 52. This is Joshua Zeman's doc about a whale that calls out at 52 hertz, which is unrecognizable to other whales. So he's out there floating out there by himself.
So this is a
Sounds very
doc,
lonely.
and it was more exciting than the one we saw Fathom from a few weeks ago.
So much better than Fathom.
All right.
Having said that, it was still meh. But it's worth checking out.
Nice.
I just didn't like the way they kind of wrapped it all up. And spoiler alert, the loneliest whale may not be the loneliest whale. There might be others that call out at 52 hertz.
Bound to be. Isn't that special?
Yeah.
And you know what? What the heck? Let's wrap it up. I don't even know why I watched it. I got up Sunday morning. We decided we weren't doing anything that day. So I put on Peter Rabbit 2,
Nice.
The Runaway.
Some of your choices, buddy.
So I watched the first one. I remember kind of finding it halfway amusing. And you know what? So is this. Sequel to Peter Rabbit. Stars Rose Byrne, Domhnall Gleeson, and David Oyelowo. It was meh.
Yeah.
It was funny. It had some stuff going on.
Who
there.
doesn't love Peter Rabbit as a kid?
You know what? If you got kids, watch it. Or if you're just immature like me.
Or mentally ill like you. One of those two things.
Either.
It fits into one of them.
All right.
Okay, so we got to go to the cinemas, and this is really where we want to spend most of our attention this week on our 100th episode of all time.
I don't know what that means.
It's like a giant echo. Like we're in a giant stadium. Where there's just the three of us right now, but we're three of us together. Thank you.
Like all of last season
Like
in every sport.
exactly, like we're together again. This is such a celebration for our 100th episode. We're together again. We got your, whatever that is, horse thing. We got
Potato
Mr.
Head.
Potatoes here. We got the merman.
This is Charlie horse,
Okay.
not that horse thing.
Yeah, or the liver receptacle, in my opinion. But that's a whole other story. So this is a good time. This is the best day we've had in a long time. And we're going to have, I'm going to predict this right now, potentially the most rage we've ever had in an episode in our entire history of episodes.
Well, I kind of liked all the movies, Jim.
I find that really, really hard to believe.
I
Because
find it
I
really hard to believe.
would like you to talk about the movie Escape Room and how much you thoroughly enjoyed this film.
Well, I would, but we didn't watch Escape Room, Jim. That was the first. This is the sequel, Escape Room Tournament of Champions.
But was there actually a tournament
Well,
of champions
there was
in
no
this
prize.
movie?
So I don't know how it could be a tournament.
There was no tournament per se. But in the movie, she says, well, this is like a tournament of champions. So,
That's why they call. I didn't know why they called it that.
yeah.
Well, she said it
So
must be
she
true.
obviously doesn't understand what the definition of tournament is. But that's okay.
Apparently,
We're not
They-
all...
they
apparently
should-
the writers of this
They
film
should have
didn't
just
know
called
either.
it Hunger Games and got it over with.
All right, so if Saw and Cube had a baby, the result would be Escape Room, although I feel as though Saw and Cube would be quite disappointed with their offspring.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah.
would be the black sheep of the family for sure.
Just
They would be
like-
disowned.
Just like the first Escape Room Tournament of Champions sees a small group of people forced to navigate through escape rooms where, if they fail, they die. The film starts with a rapid-fire summary of the first film to bring us up to speed. Not that it really matters. From there, we are reunited with the two survivors of the first film. One of them is obsessed with taking down the people that were responsible for their terror. This causes her to go to New York. Was it in New York? I'm pretty sure it was New
I
York.
think it was
I
New
don't
York.
know. I think it was a soundstage,
In an
maybe in LA.
In an attempt to confront her captors, but surprise, surprise, she finds her trapped, desperate to get out of the escape rooms once again. She is there with a bunch of others who have also survived this game in the past. From here, you start to question how any of this is possible. How could the people running this game be able to do anything that the movie presents? From the ridiculous uncoupling of the train in the subway to the underground bank to the scene where initially it looks like they are back on the streets of New York, but then it turns into a bunch of screens. And the whole acid rain scene was also just ridiculously dumb because it didn't really make sense when you broke it down. Hated the movie. It was a rage. Yeah.
Success! So far, we're 1-0, people. This is so far
It was
on a
awful.
start to being the most rage-filled episode yet. Well, I think Mur also saw this. Would you like to go next, my little friend?
Sure. I don't have a lot more to add to it because, yeah, I didn't see the first one. I pretty much hate these kind of movies. I'm not a big fan of horror movies anyway.
Didn't have to see the first one. They
Yeah.
gave it to you in the first
Yeah,
3
really.
minutes.
I was quite surprised to learn that the one actress in the whole movie I knew and liked supposedly died in the first one. Or did she?
Or did she?
So I wasn't going to enjoy it because, like, what the hell? She's dead. What's the point of watching it now?
Exactly. The M. Night
yeah,
Shyamalan
this-
ding-dong does,
this
though.
was just mindless drivel. Like Bryce said, it was like the Cube and Saw. It's like they throw them together and, you know, it's like they go to different rooms and somebody else dies.
And their baby was Damien from The Omen.
Yeah, and it, at the end of the movie, it's like you think, okay, well, maybe, you know, they finally put a stop to it, but oh yeah, no, let's just make another sequel. Guarantee there's gonna be another one. Yeah, I would definitely, this is one of the few I would definitely rage about.
All right, that's 2 rages, baby. Okay, well, let me tell you what I thought about Escape Room number 2. I tried to remember, actually, when we were at the theaters, if I actually saw this first film before coming to this sequel. And thankfully, as Bryce had mentioned, they showed a recap of the beginning of the film. And yes, I marked it from my mind because I remembered not thinking it was pretty good in the first place. So thank you, the cinema gods, that they made a second one. And as I mentioned, it should be number 2
Yeah, we get it, Jim.
because it was like shit. This movie is basically watching some people we don't care about do escape rooms again in a sequel, but where puzzles are either obvious or made where there's no possible way that the people would be able to figure out the clues in time. But there was a constant running commentary all the way through it by the characters. When anything happened, it was funny for about maybe 5 to 6.4 minutes. And then I wanted to punch my face so hard that it would knock me out unconscious, so I would miss the rest of this movie. After my memory returned, I remembered I hated the first film. This one was basically like the first one, except it was twice as stupid, twice as ludicrous, and not the awesome actor, the unawesomeness that is this movie. I just wanted everyone to die right away in the film, and that it would end, and it was actually short. And then the torture would be the start of the night in torture for our 100th episode, Team Rage. In case you haven't noticed, this film was a rage. And I can't believe I'm saying this. We should have picked Space Jam 2. Now you know how troubled this movie was. Grown-ass man wishing I chose a prepubescent cartoon with apparently sexless characters over a movie that is called, quote, and I quote, Tournament of Champions, where there was not an actual tournament. I should ask for my money back because no tournament, no money. Favorite line? I found a ship in a bottle. And why are you asking, is this my favorite line? Because it was actually at the time they were holding a ship in the bottle. It's funny, right?
It's pretty funny.
It is. Yeah. So that exact thing happened, I want to say at least every 5 minutes in this movie. They would literally be doing something and then telling us they were doing something. And by about, like I mentioned, just 6.4 minutes into it, I wanted to punch myself out.
It's just a service for the hearing impaired.
Sure.
Yeah, but they have described video options for people with hearing impaired. They don't want to hear this.
They don't have to turn on the described video this time, though.
They don't want the audience to have to figure it out for themselves. That's the problem.
Okay, that's it.
They don't want the audience to actually have to think about the clues.
Yeah.
They want it to just be presented to them.
It was just a terrible running commentary by idiots solving an idiotic puzzle of a movie. And my biggest question is, I am puzzled why we actually saw this and not Space Jam 2.
Because only 2 movies came out last week.
I might have seen Space Jam 2.
Oh, good.
I think you probably might
Thank
have too.
God.
I forgot about that.
Because you see everything.
Yes, it's true.
I saw Space Jam 2.
And which was it better than this?
It was awful. It's still a rage, but it wasn't as hard a rage.
I would rather watch Bugs Bunny jumping around the basketball court.
But he's probably disappointed that Lola Bunny did not get jiggy, if you know what I'm saying.
Lola Bunny.
I don't know what
And no more Pepe Le Pew.
No more Pepe Le Pew. All right, well, that's enough about that crappy movie. Let's move on to another somewhat crappy movie. We went and saw the film Roadrunner,
Beep, beep.
a film about Anthony Bourdain.
Wasn't it about the Roadrunner?
And I wished it was about Roadrunner. I kind of wish I went and saw Space Jam 2
Well, yeah, we're talking
as
about
opposed
Bugs
to
Bunny.
this one, too.
I thought we were talking about the Roadrunner.
So, if you are an Anthony Bourdain fan, you may actually love this film. Or at least maybe just like it. Before going into this film, I was not a fan of Anthony Bourdain. And now after seeing it, my opinion of him has not changed. There was a few things great in this film. The music was amazing. Some of the famous people interviewed, including a small scene with Iggy Pop. The music from Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence.
I think that was plucked from another movie.
And possibly, but it was still in this one also. Mm-hmm. And even there was a shot of Bowie. And those are the 3 things in this movie that I thought was good. The movie was long. About 30 minutes into it, I just wanted it to end. This was a love story to a man that these people loved. But even after 2 hours, I still do not know him much better than I did before I watched this movie. This had way too much stuff in it, and I felt it was unfocused. Maybe like the man himself. As a person who himself was an addict, I also live with a lot of addictive personality items. I keep moving my addictions from one thing to another. It happens to be a podcast right now. But I'm not sure what this movie was supposed to have me feel, know, or understand by the time it was over. I was glad for one thing by the time it was over. Well, maybe two. I was glad it was over. And number two, as I say this very rarely, this doc made me rage. And that makes me happy because after seeing this film, I am now 2 films into our night of celebration for our 100th episode. And that's 2 more rages. We're 4 rages in of a possible total of 9, people. Happy 100 is all I want to say.
Okay, then.
Merman, do you see this?
No, I did not. I, like you, am not... Well, I barely knew who the guy was. I did know he died. I don't watch any cooking shows, so watching a documentary about one, I had no interest in. I wouldn't want to watch one about Emerald Lagasse either. It's like, I don't like watching cooking, so I don't want to see a documentary about it.
You just want to eat.
Now, if he was like...
The end food.
I don't... This guy, like, drive around on his motorcycle, too, because I maybe would see him...
They didn't really show him
If he was
on
on
a
a road
motorcycle
trip, I could see
very
that.
often.
If he was going from country to country, teaching poor people how to cook or something, then maybe I'd watch it, but whatever.
He didn't do that.
I didn't have time, so I didn't see it.
All right, Buckaroo.
Okay.
What's Papa Rage have to say?
Going into this film, there was very little that I knew about Anthony Bourdain, and coming out of this film, there is very little that I know about Anthony Bourdain. The film does do a good job of presenting the curious nature of Bourdain, as he seemed to crave new experiences. After watching the movie, I myself was curious about some of the narration by Bourdain, as it did not ring true with me for some reason. It had a very beyond the grave feel, and I was surprised some of the things that he said while he was still alive. The fact that he recorded these things. And it turned out that the reason I felt this way was that it was not true. It turns out that director Morgan Neville used AI to recreate the sound of Bourdain's voice as it narrates the movie in quite a few scenes.
Yikes.
Not everything
I know where
you
this is
hear
leading.
Are Bourdain's words, but are represented as him as if he said them
Oh,
himself.
God. I know where this is going.
It is deceiving, and it is something that does not belong in non-fiction filmmaking. Transparency and basic ethics are key to making a documentary of any kind. With that said, Roadrunner, a film about Anthony Bourdain, is a rage.
Oh, God.
Rage.
I'm going to assume Murray raged because he didn't see it.
I would have raged about if I had seen
So
it.
there we go. We are 6 for 6, people. Can I get a all hands in for 100 episode?
Woot woot.
Come on, get it in there. Go 100. All right. Well, this is where things might fall off the rage a bit because I'm thinking that our boy Merman has a lot of characters in this movie that he's madly in love with.
Absolutely.
And his love for these characters may have caused this not.
It may have skewed
his opinions.
opinion,
We may not have a perfect episode today,
That's
people. I'm
true.
just warning you now.
Yeah.
So, Murray, why don't you lead us off
All
on
right.
Queen Bees?
Queen Bees at Canyon Meadows, which actually, I guess, came out about a month ago, but just haven't gotten to see it before. After reluctantly agreeing to move into a senior's home, a woman encounters a clique of mean-spirited women and an amorous widower. This actually had quite a few big names in it. Ellen Burstyn, Jane Curtin, who people who actually know who watch TV might know. Loretta Devine, who I know I've seen before somewhere.
Oh, yeah, she's been in everything on TV.
Anne Margaret, James Caan, Christopher Lloyd, and French Stewart.
French Stewart was so
Awful.
something.
Always is. As one of the characters described them, it's mean girls with medic alert bracelets. Let me tell you a story.
Of a man named Brady?
Just my story. I went to see this at Canyon Meadows, our great sponsors. Now, what happened next was not entirely their fault. First off, I was easily the youngest person there, and I'm 50. I felt like a teenager next to everybody else. About halfway through, the whole theater went dark. No screen, no lights, nothing.
I envy you.
After a few minutes, one of the old codgers went out to investigate. Came back and said that half the building had lost power. Half their theaters just went dark at the same time.
Can I just ask a question?
Yeah.
Because I have a feeling with all those elderly people watching a movie with lots of elderly people having sex, may have caused some of them to be frisky. Was there some action happen in the dark?
I was in the front row because I was far away from all of them, but I may have heard something.
Did you hear some smooshy sounds?
I may have heard something. I don't know.
Night, gushy sounds?
So yeah, now I'm sitting in a dark theater with old people, listening to their weird and wacky conversations. Because another thing about old people, they love to talk during the movie. That's why I don't take my mother to the movies anymore. So it took about 30 minutes to restore the picture, and we were stuck on a freeze of Christopher Lloyd in a bad toupee for about 10 minutes, just a freeze. Unfortunately, this was not the point in the film where we left off. So before the blackout, two ladies were smoking pot and talking about sweaty underboobs.
Nice.
And when we came
I'm
back,
gonna talk about that too.
when we came back, Anne Margaret is chatting with Christopher Lloyd in his room. So
About
what the hell?
sweaty underboobs?
No, something else. What the hell did I miss? No idea.
Nothing really.
I mean, I did get a free
Missed
pass
nothing.
out of it, but I don't really want to sit through the movie again.
No.
So having said that, yeah, I did enjoy the film. It was a nice reunion with castmates from Third Rock from the Sun, Jane Curtin and French Stewart, who I enjoyed the show they were on. The movie wasn't what I thought it would be. Started off as Mean Girls and ended up as a rom-com with geriatrics. Like, all the performances were amazing. It was sweet and heartwarming. Not quite a Mondo, though. Just a man.
Okay, we didn't get a perfect episode.
No, you know me. I don't rage unless
I think
have
we
to.
should have picked, instead of this one, we should have picked Space Jam 2.
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't think he'd rage about it.
I wouldn't have
either.
raged for that one either.
No.
All right. What you got?
Yeah, Queen Bees. It's exactly what you would expect from the director of the Santa Claus 3, The Escape Clause, and The Tooth Fairy, starring Rock the Dwayne Johnson. I'm
Nice.
sure there is an audience for this dreck, as at the screening we were at, there was a lady howling with laughter at every attempt at humor.
Was she 70?
I'm not
Easily.
sure how old her. Yeah.
Easily.
She thought the 3-minute commentary on boob sweat was especially hilarious. I did not. Another line that made her howl was when they were talking about the retirement community they were living in, and the statement that was made was, when you leave high school, you graduate, but when you leave here,
die.
you're dead. Also not funny.
Nice.
There were also just stupid things in this that were supposed to play for an emotional response, but were just dumb. There's one point where Ellen Burstyn as Helen tells a story of how they transported the tiles for their house from Portugal on their laps in a plane. What? How is this possible? I'm pretty sure that it's not, unless they were only tiling a closet.
Apparently that they did. How did she survive? Because that's a lot of
That's
tile.
a
in your
lot of
lap.
tiles, unless
That-
you're tiling a closet.
That may have
and
been
that's
the part that I
And why
missed.
did they go to Portugal to get like?
I always think of Portugal for tile.
Because it
Don't
had
you-
to be a closet.
Don't you think Portugal's the place to go for
It's
tile?
probably
is, but there is no way that they transported the tiles for their house on their laps. That is the dumbest thing that I've ever heard. Like, who's writing this? Who would write that and go,
I love how you
this is
picked-
gold?
I love
He
how you
picks
picked
the
that
weirdest
one.
things.
Well, you picked out that as the one example, but you
Oh,
could have
there's
literally
there's
you
a
could
thousand
throw a
examples.
rock, you
Yeah.
could throw a Portuguese tile at the screen
Yes.
and hit the bad writing in this movie.
That is the one that just that was early on in the film, and I was like, okay, I'm checked out now. This is just ridiculous.
That must
The
have been
only
the part
thing
that
that
I
I'm paying
missed.
attention to now is the lady laughing at everything. And at one point, she was mildly amusing to me, but the movie was not. This
Wait.
was yes.
You mean, didn't you love me laughing the entire movie at you?
You're laughing at me as I'm sitting there squirming in my chair, literally like making contorted faces, just wishing that
my
this
God.
would end, and it never did. I haven't felt this squirmy in a movie
It's
since
true.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, or The Invisible Man,
Yeah,
which
it
was pretty damn squirmy
That
too.
was close, but
Yeah. Oh my God.
So this was bad on every level, from the acting to the writing to the music to the directing. It was a rage. It was such a hard rage.
Oh God, yeah. I was in so. By the time we got to this was our third movie for the night,
That probably wouldn't help.
and we were already giddy with rage. It was
After Tournament of the Champions, that'd be an
after
rage too.
Tournament of Champions. It was just a downhill battle. So this this film provided the very best gift that I could have ever asked for It has been many months since we have been back in the cinemas, and every film we have pretty much seen has been a sequel for the most part, and usually not very good. On our 100th episode, I really wanted this episode to be the best episode we have ever had. When we started our podcast a year and a half ago, the rage that drove our passion for film had finally hit its pinnacle. For this film to deliver the third and final rage of the week of films that we saw in cinemas, I could not have been happier. The amount of rage this film gave me / joy watching Bryce squirm through the entire movie. This film had literally the worst music ever put into a film that I have ever heard. It had one of our mesmerized faves, Ellen Burstyn, making me question her on our list. Plus, what I can only say as submissive and annoying a portrayal by James Caan doing I have no fucking clue, that kind of hunched over acting he was spewing out. This was like seeing an episode of The Golden Girls, but not nearly as funny. Meets a Hallmark movie of the week. The acting was terrible. The plot, the story, the dialogue, and in particular, I mean this with the utmost amount of respect, all these great actors of old mashed up together and completely destroying any fond memories that I had of them. There was one thing that could have saved this film, though. The perfect sadistic rage could have happened if only they would have cast Denise Richards in the part of Ellen Bernstein's daughter.
Oh, yeah.
But just wait. Our rage-filled 100th episode is not over yet, so Denise may still come back up. I'm not saying for sure, but it is possible, people. The only thing that was not completely awful with this film was Christopher Lloyd.
Absolutely.
And he could barely budget whatsoever.
What are you talking about?
He was the best thing in this movie.
Best
What
part.
does that mean? He was still horrible.
I know, but he was still the best thing. And his hairpiece, to your point last week about David Spade's hairpiece,
his hairpiece
was awesome.
David
And
Spade's
that
hairpiece would
scene in the
kick
dining
his
room where
hair
he's flirting with everybody.
Exactly.
I couldn't stop laughing.
Exactly. I was turned on.
He was like
Christopher
being a real
Lloyd.
lech.
You
How
still got
awesome.
it, baby.
What?
Doc, Doc,
he
you've
was
got
hilarious.
it.
There is no way you were laughing at that scene.
I was laughing my butt off at that.
He
my
laughs at
goodness.
everything he does because he loves Christopher
This
Lloyd.
is the third Christopher Lloyd movie I've seen in 3 months, and I've loved all of them.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
But
gracious.
again, the best thing about the whole experience of seeing 3 solid rage in films back to back, and the icing on the 100th episode, delicious rage-filled and cream-stuffed cake, was the applause by one of the other patrons clapping as this film ended.
Really?
I was also applauding because it was over, but I think for maybe different reasons. This was the perfect ending to the 100th episode of Film Rage. We are truly inspired to continue for another 100 episodes. I feel we will never be able to stop raging, knowing that these types of films we got subjected to this last week is what we're going to get to see. My favorite line in this movie is, "I like nuts on my balls."
hilarious.
It was
I do remember
it was truly, truly hilarious.
Well, I can tell you 99% of the old people in my theater loved it.
Yeah.
As did
So
ours.
Murray,
Obviously
you
knew
know-
it was made for.
You know that obviously now that you're 50, you're just that much closer to being old.
We actually got there as the closing credits were actually running, and we had some coming out, and Jim asked one of the ladies, "So how was it?" It was so good. It's
See?
so funny.
it was YouTube
Although
curmudgeons.
the one dude guy, he was like, it was okay.
It was alright.
Remember the dude guy that was running out
Yeah.
during the credits? He was like, yeah, it was okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to each their
that-
own.
I think he went from that to go see like maybe Escape Room 2,
Sure.
Maybe.
There you
maybe.
go.
Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
Oh my The music is so clear in my mind. Yes! Oh, baby. I cannot believe how happy I am to be here today. And our 100th episode. I just got to keep repeating it. I can't believe that we survived 100 episodes with each other.
7 long months.
And then on top of that, we got so much rage this week. Now, my rage, I could literally just rage about all 3 of the movies we saw. But this week I'm going to pick that not all documentaries need to be made. But if they do make documentaries, please try and make them more interesting for everybody that's going to be watching the movie. It's simple.
That is simple.
Right? I mean, how many times have we seen docs where we say, this doc would be great if it had focus?
Yes.
Or this doc would be great if it wasn't a home movie for the people that's friends of the actual movie. This movie was all that together in one. It was unfocused. It really had... It did not bring us closer to Anthony Bourdain in any way, shape, or form. If you saw this movie and if you didn't know him, like you didn't know him, I didn't really know him. I don't know him anymore. I don't know who this movie was made for. I mean, we've seen some of the best documentaries in this last year, and we just saw the Sparks Brothers, which was literally 3 Mondos, and Murray doesn't give out Mondos to documentaries, so we know how good that doc was.
Yep.
And that was about the Sparks. They could have made this. Anthony Bourdain had such an interesting life. How could they not have made this a Mondo film? I don't get it.
Yep.
That's my rage. Just make better documentaries or don't make them.
There you go. Makes sense to me. That is sage wisdom there, Jim.
A sage? What's that?
Sage wisdom.
Sage?
Cooking ingredient,
So cooking ingredient? I think, yeah.
It's cooking ingredient.
A little bit of
wisdom.
rosemary and thyme.
Did you just double entendre
Because it
me?
was the Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah.
Right.
That was pretty
connected.
clever.
Wow. How does he do this sometimes?
Because I'm
He's
smarter
a
than
smart
the
boy.
average bear.
You're smarter than the average
Smarter than a
cookie.
Roadrunner.
I am the yogi of
He's
this
the yoga,
of this trio.
Not the boo boo.
I think he's more like the boo-boo most days.
Whatever.
Actually, boo-boo is the smart one. Boo-boo is the smart one.
Boo-boo's a wet blanket. But Yogi, the ranger,
We'll get the
we'll get
picnic
in
baskets.
trouble.
Does that make me
The
the
picnic
ranger then?
baskets.
Does that make me the ranger?
No, you're Yogi's girlfriend.
I don't want to be a girlfriend. I'd rather be the ranger.
Okay, you can be the ranger. I will be the girlfriend, and you can be boo-boo.
Whatever.
I'm not gonna be boo-boo.
Apparently, you are. We just voted on it. Murray, see boo-boo?
But later on we're gonna talk about a boo-boo.
Yeah, we are.
Boo-boo or boo-boo?
This episode's getting better every minute.
That's true. All right, rage it on.
Ah. My rage is similar there, Jim,
What?
You don't say.
but different. Just basically, deception in documentary filmmaking is inexcusable. You are making a documentary, and you have a responsibility to present the facts. Otherwise, your film is not a documentary, and is instead a piece of fiction, and it should be marketed that way. If this is a film you wish to make that film. Don't call it a documentary. That's my rage.
That's a real simple and eloquent rage, I must say. And you've cooked up a few things in my mind about that same complaint. It kind of reminds me a little bit of some of the Michael Moore documentaries that we've seen.
I kind of like him, but
He does some okay stuff.
to
but
me, having not seen this, seems to me that this wouldn't have been made if he hadn't have died. If he was still alive, they wouldn't have made a documentary about
yeah, I
it.
think so. But I
I
mean,
think that's
eventually he
what
was gonna.
happened.
Eventually
they
he was
would
gonna
have
die.
whether he lived or died. I think they would have made a documentary.
I think because
I think they
he committed
rushed it.
suicide.
I
He's
think they
lived a life.
rushed-
I would have liked to see a different documentary.
Yeah,
about
I
him.
think
And
they-
apparently there are some.
I think
so.
they rushed it because he died. But that's just my thinking.
Maybe.
They rushed a lot of things. Yeah, they rushed. There was a couple of things that were done previously to this, what were rushed along because
Frivolously.
I can't talk today.
There
I'm
you go.
running on fumes.
You're
here.
saying
All right, then.
you should have, or we should have ordered that pizza.
I think so.
I'm fine.
What's a celebration
I had an
without
apple
pizza?
today. I had an apple at about 12:30.
He needs a nice,
And
big, juicy
Before that,
burger.
I had another apple at like 9 p.m. yesterday. So I got 2 apples, within the last, what is
But
it
no
now?
peanut butter. You just had
no
apples
peanut
without
butter.
peanut butter?
No
But
protein.
that's, well, yeah, I got no refrigerator right now, so I don't have peanut butter.
You know, we need to just get him
It's
some
very
ice. Yeah.
Yeah. Big,
Apparently-
big cooler full of ice.
Apparently, we've moved on from raging, though. so-
Apparently, so I guess we're done with that.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
Hey everyone, I am Kris.
And I'm Kristine, and we do a podcast about life, love, and hot topics. We're family friendly,
Yeah, well, mostly.
and you can catch us every week.
So subscribe to the Kris and Kristine show on your favorite streaming service.
And buckle up, Buttercup, because you're in for some fun.
Some fun? Oh yeah, that sounds fantastic.
Sweet! Kristine, go get him.
Get him.
Okay, so we've got
right.
the most exciting time of the week,
The fastest 7 minutes you'll ever have.
7 minutes in heaven.
That's right. Well, much like these guys, my topic is similar to what we discussed this week.
You're putting rage into the Murman Minute?
No, well, you guys will be raging at the end of it. I guarantee it. This week we saw Queen Bees, about a pack of geriatric mean girls in a retirement home. As we know, old people can be funny too.
They can.
It helps if you're over the age of 40, but here are my favorite movies about old people.
Yes! Cocoon!
You might notice a few familiar names that keep popping up.
Uh-oh.
Start with, yeah, I can see him shaking his head over there already.
I love movies about old people.
He does.
Start with Grumpy Old Man from 1993.
Number one.
I'll give it a pass. It's got Walter Matthau
So
and
Walter
Jack Lemmon.
Matthau, Jack Lemmon, and Margaret.
And Margaret!
Burgess Meredith.
It's mildly amusing.
Burgess Meredith, the penguin.
And Kevin Pollak. And Daryl Hannah. A lifelong feud between two neighbors. Since childhood, it only gets worse when a new female neighbor moves across the street.
And what a woman.
It's full of childish
She's
pranks,
sexy.
witty zingers, and plenty of laughs. And every word that Burgess Meredith says is pure gold.
Always gold.
Pure
He's
gold.
God after all.
Burgess Meredith was pretty
awesome.
funny. in
He's
this.
literally, he's God, so, you know.
Next up, we have, not really a comedy, but Gran Torino from 2008.
Excellent
Nice
movie.
choice,
Directed
Mur.
by and starring Clint Eastwood. One of the few who can actually pull off doing both jobs. Not too
Yep.
many can.
Yep.
Disgruntled Korean War veteran Walt, sent out to reform his Korean neighbor Tao, who basically tried to steal his prized possession, 1972 Gran Torino. Walt is white, he's racist, and he's living next to a Korean family. Despite his prejudice, he actually saves the neighbors from a Korean gang and becomes part of their family.
Aw, it's so heartwarming.
He just gets better with age. Even when he's not arguing with a chair, that is. I mean, he's got his own faults.
Yeah, he does.
Next up, we have one guaranteed to make you guys rage.
Yeah, I'm waiting for this list to fall apart because
It's
so
good.
far I'm liking it.
It's
Yeah.
good because you're not going to like everything I like. Next
That's
up
true.
is a Bruce Willis classic, Red.
I
Red's
like Red.
awful.
I love Red.
There you go. See, told you, Red.
High five, Mern.
That's right. Bruce Willis, Morgan Freeman, John Malkovich, Helen Mirren, Richard Dreyfuss, Carl Urban, and Mary Louise Park.
I didn't know
Yes.
I could hate John Malkovich in a movie until I saw him in this role.
Well, didn't you like him less in Red 2? Because Red 2 wasn't
Red
as
2 was
good.
terrible, and that had Anthony Hopkins in it.
Crap
Anyway,
is crap.
yeah, when his peaceful life is threatened by a high-tech team of assassins, former Black Ops agent Frank Moses has to reassemble his old team,
Yes.
take on the government,
Yes, he does.
and falls in love with the girl at the
Yes.
same time.
Helen Mirren's kicking ass and punching dicks.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can't remember what's his name. The Russian dude. He was good too.
He was good.
Brian. something
Nobody
or
was
other.
good.
He was, that movie
Anyway,
was awesome.
I watch it every time it's on TV.
Yeah, I've watched it twice. And
And
that
next
was
up,
watched it
we have
once.
another one guaranteed to make you rage.
Yeah.
Space Cowboys.
Oh God, yeah. This
Oh,
movie was
God,
so awful.
Murray.
Also directed
No.
by and
Oh,
starring
he's gonna-
Clint
No.
Eastwood.
Wait, it's getting
Yes.
worse. I know which other movie he's pulling coming out of his ass.
Oh my goodness gracious!
I love this episode.
Space Cowboys.
That's
is
right.
dreadful.
I friggin' loved it.
Oh.
Retired engineer Frank Coleman is called upon to rescue a falling satellite. Him and his team of old gummers have to go into space.
Old Gummers, I love it.
Directed by Clint Eastwood, also stars in it as Tommy Lee Jones, Donald Sutherland,
It was
hello,
awful in it.
James Garner, James
awful in
Cromwell,
it.
and Marsha Gayheart.
Yeah, that was a painful movie.
I absolutely
garbage.
loved it.
Okay, but you know what's coming, don't you?
Oh,
No.
you just wait. till
Oh,
it's
yes.
Actually, you might like to link to the next one here. The best exotic marigold hotel.
That's awesome. It's a Mondo.
It's not a Mondo.
That first was a
2011.
Mondo. Bite your tongue.
It's man. It was fine.
It was the Mondo.
Yeah, British retirees have traveled to India to take up residence in what they believe is a newly restored hotel.
I can accept this.
Less
entry.
luxurious than advertised, the hotel nevertheless begins to charm them in unexpected ways. With Judi Dench, Maggie Smith, Tom Wilkinson, and Bill Nye. Not the science guy,
Bill
but
Nye, the
other
acting
ones,
guy.
A
The other
stellar
guy.
cast.
That's right.
And the most important of all of them, Dev Patel.
Dev Patel's
Was he
in
in
it.
that? It didn't even have him listed.
Yeah.
He's
I figured he was in. I
delicious.
can't remember him though.
That was the start of my love affair with Dev Patel. Or
There
was
you
it
go.
before that?
He's got a new one coming out.
I have no idea.
All right, the next two you guys are definitely going to rage about, but I don't care because
Is
I
Wild
love
Hogs on it?
them. No.
Okay,
I should have
thank
put
God.
that.
Yeah,
Oh,
you, thank
for-
God you
I
didn't.
should have. It's my favorite. Apart from what's his name, Martin. I like the other two. Just,
Just stop.
Why did I bring it up?
Anyway, I'm not going to talk about that one. Next one is called Going in Style from 2017.
God.
Okay, no, I could accept it if it was the original Going in Style with
I don't even know the original.
George Burns.
That's way before my time.
He's God, remember?
Yeah, anyway, it's got Morgan Freeman.
I can't believe you're
Alan
putting.
Arkin,
I can't believe you're
Christopher
putting the
Lloyd.
remake of Going in Style.
These are my favorites.
Oh,
That's
my
right.
God.
And it's got and Margaret.
It was
my favorites.
awful.
Hello, Merman Minute, not Bryce
It's
Minute.
true. But no,
Yeah, it's
the
like more
Merman
like
7
the
minute.
Merman 20 minutes.
Well, then stop interrupting me.
Yeah, it's true. We are interrupting it.
Then we got Christopher Lloyd and Margaret again.
What?
And Michael Caine.
Oh, God. That's awesome.
Desperate to pay the bills and come through after their pensions are taken away. Three lifelong pals basically a bid to knock off the bank that took their money.
The original was okay.
It wasn't a huge hit or beloved by critics, but I loved it.
They hated it because they all loved the original.
And my last one, which I will defend to my dying day,
Here we go.
is Las Vegas.
Oh, God.
With Robert De Niro, Michael Douglas, Morgan Freeman, Mary Steenburgen, and Kevin Kline. It's my favorite old movie about old people set at my #1 vacation spot.
I have no words.
I have no
That's
words
right.
either.
Well,
Well,
then
at
you
least
just-
he
then
didn't put
listen.
Wild Hogs on it.
Then listen, that's next time. I'm gonna do a whole section on Wild Hogs tomorrow. 360-something friends take a break from their day-to-day life to throw a bachelor party in Vegas. Their last single pal, who is marrying a woman more than half his age. Again, not
Nice.
a well-reviewed film or a blockbuster, but these four guys have a great on-screen chemistry, and they know how to have a good time. I can watch this film over and over. Special appearances by 50 Cent and LMFAO. That's what they're called. My favorite quote by Morgan Freeman, I'm going to find some damn water and take all my damn pills and get this party started.
And he did. He got that party
did.
started.
Then he drank Red Bull vodka and danced on the tables.
Yep. And then that started my rage
So there.
of that movie. Murray, this couldn't have been a better Merman Minute.
I'm glad to help.
Oh, God. It was so good.
All right.
All right. We got the lists. I think we can just have an update on, I think Bryce has somewhere commentary on where we're at with Bruce Willis.
Do I?
I think so. You're supposed to be taking notes when we brought Bruce Willis up before. So I'm assuming those notes are somewhere close by now that we're all back in the studio. And we're going to guess Bryce is looking. Bryce is looking. Bryce is looking.
I got no notes.
Okay, so let's just start this again. Bryce, get a pen and a paper.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Because I can tell you, Cosmic Sin, which I watched, was probably the biggest rage of any Bruce Willis movie.
Pen doesn't work.
All right, well, here's another pen for you.
I
buddy.
got more pens. Just
All right.
you keep on talking.
Okay, so we got, which we haven't seen yet, and I'm afraid to, is Out of Death, and I don't know if we need to see it. It's rated 3.0 on IMDb. Cosmic Sin is a rage. And then Breach. So that's 3 in. And all 3 of them, I'm sure, are rages. Breach was a huge rage.
Yeah. I think I
There's a new
saw
one
it.
coming out too.
Yeah, I know, unfortunately. He's got Hard Kill, which is a rage. Survive the Night, which is a rage.
Was that bad?
Yeah, it was a rage. And then he did Trauma Center.
That was a rage.
It's a rage. 10 Minutes Gone was a rage. Between Two Ferns We Can't Count. Motherless Brooklyn was a meh. Correct? Or did you give that a mondo?
No.
Is that a rage?
No, it was a meh.
Okay, there we go.
I didn't like it. I didn't think that the character needed to have that affliction, but whatever.
Okay, so how many are we in?
7. One more, I think.
Okay, so
This weekend is Midnight in the Switchgrass.
with him?
Miss Bruce Willis,
Okay,
Megan
well-
Fox, and Emil Hirsch.
Well, unfortunately, the movie after that is Glass, which to me was a meh. So that would put him on a double meh. But
Yeah.
if Murray's correct, and there's a new movie coming out this week,
According to the
he,
schedule, there is.
it just has to be a meh, and he's on the doubted list,
That's fair.
Sure, it will be.
right? So we're
Megan
going to see
Fox.
this in theaters, I'm assuming.
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't think it's in theaters.
I don't know. It's in
Oh, it's
somewhere
probably
in theaters.
VOD.
Somebody in theaters.
He's usually he's straight to VOD now.
We'll do our best to watch it.
Yeah.
It may
Sorry,
come out-
what is this
It may
called?
come out in
Murray?
2 weeks. Midnight in the Switchgrass. It
Okay.
had 2 release dates for it. It had this week and next week. So
Yeah, that's usually a good sign.
Who's in it?
I just told you. Megan Fox.
Emil Hirsch.
Emil Hirsch.
I'm actually.
Oh, and Megan Fox.
Holy crap! Emil Hirsch is in like everything all of a sudden.
And Lucas Haas, that guy.
He's
I
been
haven't seen him
nowhere.
in like 3 years.
And now he's everywhere.
That's right.
I like the last Megan Fox movie, Till Death. It was good.
Okay.
Right then.
I believe you. Okay. Anybody else want to bring up?
Did I mention that I liked the last Megan Fox movie?
Yeah, you did that.
Well,
You,
Till Death.
you've literally told us
It
that
was good.
more than
Yeah.
once.
I
Yeah.
would have brought up Christopher Lloyd, but you guys both raged about Queen Bee, so I'm not going to do that.
I liked the last Megan Fox movie, Till
Christopher
Death.
Lloyd, yeah, but Christopher
good.
Lloyd, well, I don't know if he's going to pass
think
Bryce.
he's on your list
But
at
I
all.
think Christopher Lloyd's mesmerizing.
Nope. Done.
All right, well, that
There you go.
happened.
See, that's why I didn't bring him
That
up.
just happened. Well, Murray, you still got to bring him up.
No, I don't.
I agree with you.
Because I know my
Dude,
comrade to the right here already. I know what he's going to say.
you can't assume,
You
always
don't.
assume.
I do.
You can't
I don't
always assume.
I know.
Okay, so here's one. Obviously not mesmerizing, but she's gorgeous, even at her in her aged state, is Anne Margaret.
I've always loved that part.
Can we have a new list?
No.
That's gorgeous people, the beautiful people?
No.
It could be the Marilyn Manson. We'll call it the Marilyn Manson
Beautiful
list.
people
No.
list. Yes.
What?
I can
No.
get
The
behind
beautiful
that.
people.
I can get behind
the
that.
beautiful
I'm
people.
kiboshing that.
As long as
and
Michelle-
we're
We're not gonna
to
sit
the
there and
size
judge
of your
people's-
steeple.
As long as Michelle
Can't
Pfeiffer
smell
gets
the
on the
forest
list.
No.
From the trees, and you can't smell your own shit on your knees.
No.
Beautiful people. The beautiful people.
Is that it for the list?
I don't think you guys bring anything up, so
Like I
you
said,
know.
I try. Everything gets knocked down.
You
whenever I
literally
bring it up.
didn't try. I
I
forced
did.
you to try.
I said Christopher Lloyd, and he
and I
already
said
vetoed
yes,
it.
and he said
vetoed
no.
It, so
It happens really quick sometimes.
Like I said, I know better.
Must have somebody else.
No,
Come on,
that's all I
pull
had.
something. What else did we see this week? What about Anthony Bourdain?
It's no. And that,
One
what's that
movie he
gonna
was
be?
in?
I guess it's not really fair to talk about him anymore.
No.
No. Okay.
Don't speak
Well,
ill
we
of
got a
him.
short list this week, people.
I guess so.
Apparently, we want to get to the stuffing in this turkey.
The stuffing. Okay, let's get to the stuffing then. Alrighty, last week on Rage or Dare, we were dared by our pal Philip to see the 2017 Denise Richards Boo Boo Stewart mashup, American Satan. This week, Bryce will have a choice to Rage or Dare. Let's check in with Bryce first to see if having Denise Richards in a film really does make a satanic curse, or can our man crush Boo Boo Stewart make this satanic film a blessing? I don't do sound effects.
American Satan, a film about a band making a deal with the devil in the form of Malcolm McDowell in order to reach the heights of success. There is sex, and drugs, and rock and roll, and violence, and gore, and a few laughs along the way. It's not a masterpiece, but it's also not a rage. As I was watching this, I was thinking to myself, this looks pretty familiar. And that would be because I had actually seen it before a couple of years ago. The fact that I think I got about 60
20 minutes in?
No, about 60 or 70 minutes before I knew for sure. I was like,
Took you halfway.
Then I was like, okay, no, I've definitely seen this. The fact that I had forgotten about it proves that it had no business being presented on this segment, as if it was a rage, I definitely would have remembered it. The fans strike out again. As it stands, it is one of those movies that is mildly entertaining in the moment, but ultimately it is a forgettable meh.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, for our 100th episode, we should have got more rage from Philip. Philip,
Yes.
try harder next time.
Yes.
Mur, did you end up seeing this beautiful satanic film?
I did see it, even though it had the word Satan in it. You know,
Oh, right. Yeah, he's afraid
what
of Satan.
What a prude I am.
No, you just don't. You're afraid of Satan. I
You
get
know
it.
what? Yeah, I didn't hate it. I mean, yeah, the plot was bad, and I've seen this same plot like 20 times before. I.e., Oh God, Book 2, Oh God, You Devil.
Bruce Almighty.
Yeah, and they combine a little bit of Almost Famous in there. It's
So
like,
you saw all those George Burns movies, but
Yes.
you didn't see Going in Style?
No.
What is wrong with you?
was it in the theater? I don't think
Yes,
so.
it was in the theater.
How old was I when
It
it was in
was
the
when you were
theater?
young.
I was like 6.
I saw it in the theater.
How did you see
And
that in the
where did
theater?
you? I grew up in a town of 3,000 people. Where did you grow up?
Yeah, in the city of Calgary.
Calgary, Alberta,
I didn't have
Canada.
a damn movie theater when I was a kid.
Yeah, so it was 1979.
Yeah,
Murray,
exactly. I
Murray,
was
At
8.
some point, you had a VCR, though.
Okay,
No.
don't
At
try and
8
convince
years
him
old,
to see Going in Style with old people. At 8, he was watching Star
I didn't
Wars.
get a VCR till I was in high school.
Only you would choose
Exactly.
1979, which you
I
would have
grew
been
up
4.
in small farming towns.
I liked it.
My town doesn't even have a movie theater or a video store or anything anymore.
You know what the best thing about this conversation is? We're not talking about the movie that we saw,
Yeah.
and we're still
We're
raging.
talking about. Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I didn't hate it. I mean, I actually enjoyed the music, and I'm not really into like hard rock, heavy metal type music. I actually enjoyed the music, and despite what Bryce thinks, it actually won quite a few awards at various film festivals for its music. So I'm not the only one who enjoyed the music.
Well,
But yeah, the plot was tired. It was
Probably the
predictable.
only one in this room.
And yeah, it was. And Denise was just. She was not. Well, for the 3 scenes she was in, she was not good.
She was glorious.
Whatever. I did find it curious that the one scene, like when they canceled their tour because apparently the teenager they had sex with, her father killed himself, so they got pulled off the tour. The band that they were touring with was led by her co-star from Starship Troopers.
what?
I don't even know
Casper
what we're
Van
talking
Dien?
What
no,
are we
the tall
talking
guy,
about?
the tall guy who took her away.
The tall guy, that was...
Tall guy from Starship Troopers. No, Starship Troopers.
Yeah,
when
yeah.
she was a pilot, her co-pilot.
Oh
guy.
yeah, the dude that she
The
was
dude.
cheating on.
Yeah,
yeah,
he was in
yeah,
this.
yeah.
He was in
yeah,
this.
Yeah.
He looked old and
Wow,
tired though. Man, I
that's-
recognized him. I know because he's also the same guy that took away Kelly from Zach on Saved by the Bell. Just saying.
I don't know what we're talking about.
We're talking about
I also gave it a meh.
Patrick Muldoon.
That's the guy's name. Mm-hmm. Anyway.
Okay, well, enough of your two madness. We talked earlier this year. If there was one thing that we wanted more than seeing Pig in cinemas, it was seeing more of Boo Boo Stewart. And
I can get on board with
and
that.
voila, American Satan.
This is his first
And he was
movie.
very good.
And Philip delivers onto us. Ah! Thank you, Philip. He's also in a film coming out this year called Ass Clowns Constipated.
No.
Yes,
so he's
our
that is the
man.
name
He's
of
got a
it.
diverse resume.
He's got a diverse resume, and our man, Boo Boo Stewart, is in Ass Clowns Constipated 2021. You can bet this is going to be on our show at some
God.
point. Man, I'm glad he's making great choices. Boo Boo, keep making good choices, buddy. In this 90210 for Poser, mainstream power pop rock meets made-for-TV rock and roll. Only thing I wished was that there was more montage in this film. This is not how bands actually work, by the way. I have been in multiple ones, and they just don't easily get that signed or get offers from Satan very
they
often,
sign
which I'm
Job and
very
the Devil, they
disappointed
do.
in. I tried many times.
Yeah,
He wasn't answering.
Devil wasn't
You
taken?
were not in L.A. though.
Apparently
The
not.
devil wasn't
The
taken?
devil lives in L.A.?
Apparently.
That's where
Okay.
that's where he signs all the bands.
Yeah, okay.
Have you seen the bands
Okay.
that get signed in L.A.? How else would they get a contract?
Exactly.
true.
I have a
Poison.
question. If Malcolm McDowell was the devil, was the black guy Jesus?
Maybe.
Was that the point?
I think so. Well, people know that it's Black Jesus. So what's Malcolm McDowell in this film? I feel an addiction to possibly the Doubted coming for him, just to say.
Nah.
Kubrick dies, and all of a sudden he becomes awful. Like, I haven't liked Malcolm McDowell in a movie since...
He's campy. He's fine.
Yeah, we gotta have to go through that. I'm sorry. Now, is this film what you would call a B film or a D film? As in B for bad or D for giant dump? Yeah, this is totally a teenage soap opera, rock dream fantasy, but with awful mainstream music. This actually seemed like a dirtier version of Tom Hanks' directed film. And what was that called again? Oh, yeah, That Thing You Do. Or was this Spice Girls meets Lucifer? But you know what was the biggest surprise? Remember when we also said we would never have to talk about Denise Richards again? Well, here we are, no less than 4 months later, and we are back with Denise.
Notice I didn't talk about it.
Exactly. If we don't talk about
barely in
her,
it.
we are talking about our girl Tiff. I suggest we have a new challenge/segment on our show
I love Tiff. now.
called Best Reason of the Week to talk about somebody on our doubted or repulsive list.
Tiff's not on either anymore.
I know, but Denise is.
Yes.
We just don't have enough rage in our rage-filled podcast. We should call it the Denise Richards moment of the week.
There you go.
No, I'm not talking. No.
No?
No.
Can we just say Denise Richards in
No,
every
I don't
episode?
want to talk about it. I don't want to hear her name. I don't know why we're doing this now.
I'm going to say her name every week from now on.
Yeah,
Stop.
thank you, Bird.
No more Denise
Okay,
Richards.
now let's get back to talking about the rock version of Josie and the Pussycats.
I
Well,
love
if
Josie
Josie,
and the Pussycats. It was so good.
if Josie and crew worshipped Satan and murdered a dude by accident, that's what this movie would be. So this movie is awful. The story is schlock. Dialogue is weak. Bad concept was ridiculous. Lots of B and C actors, including, as mentioned, our girl Denise, which basically predicts what this film was going to be. Plus, the acting is god awful. See what I did there?
Not Satan
Or
awful.
should I say Satan awful? Our wish, and I'm speaking for all of us here, for Boo Boo was answered. I just wish not in this film and not with our girl Denise.
Boo Boo
I
was
love
good.
you, Boo Boo. But this film was a rage for me. I hated everything about
was
it. I'm
harmless.
sorry, Philip. I don't, like Murray had said it. If I've seen this plot a million times, at least put really, really good music in it.
I actually like the music, and I don't like that kind
It's
of music.
power pop.
Yeah, but I don't like that music normally.
It's true.
But,
You like power pop music.
but I like this kind of music. Which
Hard
is
rockin'?
Not quite. Well, not heavy metal screaming, but where I can
It
actually
wasn't screamo.
I can actually
Wish
understand
it
what they're
was.
singing about.
Yes.
That's what I like. But too much of the heavy metal and rock is stuff I can't understand.
Well, this wasn't heavy metal.
Well,
It
whatever it was, I
Yeah.
liked it.
You know what
There
would
you
have been
go.
good is if they used the soundtrack from the movie Heavy Metal.
They did.
right?
They did actually throw a few songs in there that I recognized, though.
Yeah.
They did that Skid Row song and a couple other ones.
We
He
don't.
was a young boy.
Exactly.
He had a heart of
And Ricky
gold.
died, so it was apropos. Like, just saying.
Yeah.
Sure.
Anyway.
You know
Alright.
what? No matter what happens,
18 in
the
life,
fact-
you've got it.
the fact that we
18
saw
and
Denise
not
Richards
go.
on our
Your
100th
prime is
episode
time
Made it worth it.
and it's
is made it
18
worth
in
it.
life to go.
So this
18
may not
in
have
life,
been
you've got it.
the 100th
18
episode we
in
were
life,
hoping
you
for,
know.
where we
Your
intentionally
prime
planned
is
rage.
time,
But
and
we
it's
get Bryce
18
singing
in life to
18
go.
in life, and we have Denise Richards.
Yeah.
And you're welcome, people, for that serenade.
Yes.
And thank you,
This
Philip,
is what
for
100
giving us this movie to watch.
This 100th episode just could not be any better. Except now, Bryce gets to decide to rage
Oh, yeah. So do
or
that.
dare.
Take a dare.
All right.
Going into the dare bag.
The
The
audience
audience
bag.
is time to put up or shut up because I'm sick of getting
It's
stuff that's
isn't
awesome
it nut
from
up
you.
or shut up? Get it right, bitch.
I try to go the non-vulgar way if possible. Mm-hmm. All right, up. I think it's gonna be bad. Did I hate this that much? I don't remember.
Let's see it. Did you already see it this
Oh,
week?
yeah, I've seen it.
Is it
What is
Invisible
it?
Man?
No,
Is it Sonic?
no.
What is it?
Is it Top Gun?
It's
Can you show it to? Is it Top Gun 2?
It stars Pauly Shore.
Well, I know it's gonna be bad.
Jury Man or
duty?
something? Jury
No, that would be good.
duty? In the
Jury
army
duty.
now?
In the see, that one was bad.
Biodome?
They're all bad. Biodome.
Oh!
We have a winner. Ding
with
ding
one
ding.
of the
ding, ding.
with one of the Baldwins.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
Steven, I
dude.
think.
All
it's
right.
Stephen Baldwin and Pauly Shore.
Awesome.
Yeah, I remember it being pretty bad, but I don't know if it's going to be a rage. We'll see.
I don't know. Pauly Shore is not funny.
No, he's not.
He's not funny, but he's actually grown up a little bit. He's not as much of a goofball as he used to be.
Yeah, I kind of want to see his the Pauly Shore is dead film.
Experience or whatever.
Somewhere. Someone
All right,
dares to
so
see that.
I'm going to watch Biodome.
There you go.
Whatever.
Atta boy. Oh,
We
man.
shall see.
Wow. 100 episodes. Thanks again, Ragers, for listening. Rage love out to Julene from It Goes Down in the PM podcast and James, as well as our newest and our only annual membership, Philip. Thanks, buddy. We love you guys. Thanks to Extended Film Rage crew of Leonard Conlon for his artistic vision and photography via Leonard Conlon Photography. For Bex Goose for her cartooning skills at PotatoLadyPodcastReviews.com. Thanks to our sponsors, Canyon Meadows Cinema. Please go check them out because this week they also have Pig Playing, which we will be talking about next week. Please go and support your local independent cinemas near you as they desperately need your help as we come out of COVID. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site, Redbubble and TeePublic. And TeePublic, we're on sale right now, so go buy some stuff. See what we look like on our YouTube channel by searching Film Rage Podcast. We are always wanting to make this a raging blast for all listeners. So you can also send us an email at filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dares to see terrible movies to fuel our rage. But no matter what you do, please, please make us rage. Rage on.
Rage on.
Harmony.